7 Golden Money Rules to Embrace in Life. It is pretty common knowledge these days that money rules the world. Which is why it is so important for each and every one of us to have our own set of money rules. Otherwise, we can quickly find ourselves financially overwhelmed and stressed out. By setting yourself rules to follow, you can ensure that you are always in control. These are the rules we should follow whenever money is involved, to help ourselves stay on top of our finances, instead of our finances running wild. However, I like to think these are a great starting point that everyone can base their money rules on. 1. Keep an emergency fund. This is arguably the most important thing everyone should be working towards, if you ask me at least. There are many reasons why saving money is important, but having an emergency fund is truly essential. Their purpose is to sustain you if you are ever out of work for some reason. Emergency funds are a long-term savings plan and can definitely take months to build up to, but you will be beyond grateful you took the time to prepare them should anything ever happen to you. 2. Live below your means. Don't spend more than your salary. A lot of us have heard this phrase, but many of us tend to dismiss it and not give it the attention it deserves. It does sound pretty strange at face value. How can you spend more than you earn? The money doesn't exist. What this phrase actually means is don't spend your money just because you can. Small things can make all the difference. Rent a cheaper apartment that may be an extra 5-minute walk to work, or buy the store brand appliance instead of the flashy branded one. Just because you can afford the more expensive items, doesn't mean you should buy the more expensive items. 3. Pay yourself first. Pay your future self first as part of your overall spending plan. What I mean by this is consider your long-term goals. Do you want to go on holiday? Or maybe you want a new car? Or build a house deposit? When you get your paycheck each month, once your bills have been sorted and you have added to your emergency funds, you should then pay yourself to help towards these goals before spending what is left over. 4. Don't be afraid of money. Not being afraid of money is another rule which may sound strange until you look beneath the surface. Many of us spend years avoiding looking at our finances. Watching just about every adult groan at the thought of money and paying bills often leaves a negative image of money that we don't even realize we have. Combined with the money blocks you have unconsciously developed and any negative experiences of your own, and it would seem many of us don't have an overly healthy relationship with money. By taking control back, it allows us to change the relationship with our finances for the better. 5. Talk about money. We live in a society which treats talking about money as a very private and hushed topic. It's almost taboo to talk about what you earn or whether you are struggling financially. And this mentality can often perpetuate a fear of money. Thankfully, as times change and people become more and more open about their lives, talking about money is becoming more and more acceptable. And I urge you to use this to your advantage. Especially when it comes to people you live with. Be open about your finances with your partner or your family friends. Ask for their advice if needs be. 6. A penny saved is a penny earned. In these situations, we have to make the most of what we have. And if you have a smaller income, this can mean much more saving. This doesn't mean you can never buy things, though it does mean you should really consider what you spend your money on. Shop at discount stores, buy store brand food where possible, etc. Once you get the hang of it, you will find you can still live like a queen while spending much less. 7. Avoid debt, except the good kind. Naturally, avoiding debt is always a good idea. This means you should really consider everything you pay for with credit, and whether or not you can actually afford it. If you are not careful, it can be really easy to form a bad habit of paying for everything with credit, without being able to afford the repayments. The reality is that the rules of lending money are that you get poor, while your loan company gets rich off you. Money rules the world, but don't let it rule you. These rules have helped me immensely over the years. But they are not the only money rules out there. In fact, there are many other rules of money management. I recommend trying any and all which you feel may work for you and your lifestyle. Thanks for watching.